Dr. Caselli looked somewhat apologetic, and he continued. You know, I think it would be best for me to admit my team's failing in all of this. I would like to confess, if you will, our failing in this disaster. When we were first engaged with Rick as our psychiatric inmate patient, we believed that his delusions manifested in fictional characters that he perceived as real. However, it has since become evident that these friends of Rick are in fact real people. They are not fantasies of his madness. Rick's friends, in reality, are disenfranchised, malleable, impressionable people that are desperately seeking to find purpose in their lives. Rick, being highly intelligent and charismatic, managed to manipulate each and every one of them into believing that they too are fighting for God under his leadership, of course, as he is the commander now of the Knights Templar in his fantasies, and he is the leader of God's champions, the GTeam. Dr. Caselli offered some closing information. Rick explained during his sessions that his GTeam has a large, heavy-duty cargo freight dual-prop airplane that has been made into a recreational vehicle, RV, on the inside, which can accommodate sleeping, eating, and their strategies and planning. And of course, for their traveling anywhere in the world, undetected. Richard has even asserted that the airplane has numerous stealth and decoy technologies, and even has flares that can stop targeting systems from identifying what's inside as well as targeting the craft. It all sounded so absurd and fictional at the time. Well, they have proven they have a getaway car. They drive around in a black Ford Expedition, which insanely travels with them inside their cargo plane everywhere they go. This means they seem to have air and ground transportation at their disposal anywhere and everywhere they choose to be. The doctor seemed to finally conclude his immense presentation. Rick also, during his sessions, explained that he inherited $250 billion from an Aunt Milmore, who had recently died in Ireland, and who Rick had never met or even knew about. Rick and the GTeam seem to have spent a lot of money, and yet Rick's bank accounts have remained static, totally unchanged. We have concluded that Rick does indeed have access to a very large sum of money and very extensive resources. Logically, Rick has obtained financial backers, regardless if it was inherited or granted. Dr. Caselli cautioned, perhaps a serious matter in all of this is who Rick actually was. Rick is very persuasive and charismatic, having been professionally trained in public speaking, influence, and pre-law, and due to his extensive experience working with and leading people all around the world as a technologist and a technocrat. Rick is extraordinarily intelligent, having been identified by Stanford University as being one of the most brilliant and unique minds that they have ever tested. Rick was Chief Technology Officer, CTO, and Product and Technology Leader at many Fortune 500 companies. And if all of that was not concerning enough, Rick was a world-class hacker with deep connections in the dark web and in the international hacker community. As you can see, Rick Liberty alone is a formidable and dangerous threat. And combined with his lethal GTeam, the danger they collectively represent to the world is incalculable. Dr. Caselli implored, "We need to stop Rick Liberty and his GTeam before they do something so terrible and destructive. We must stop them before they cause destruction and devastation again." Broadcaster Saline White took focus. "Wow, this is jaw-dropping stuff. It sounds like these terrorists have virtually unchecked power with all that money and with all those vehicles and resources and with the ability to just travel anywhere so freely, anywhere in the world. Remember, as our audience, if you know where in the world is Rick Liberty and the GTeam, if you know or see anything about them or what they're doing, contact FBI Agent Ramirez. His details are on our website. And thank you all for joining us here on our show, Breaking News, on Channel 86. We'll be having more Rick Liberty and GTeam coverage in the future in our broadcast from Channel 86